Good day. I will now be starting my presentation on my critique paper, which utilized the moral philosophical approach. So first, explain the literary approach. So, moral philosophical approach is an approach in literary criticism which aims to evaluate a work in terms of the ideas and values it contains. Next, discuss the chosen literary piece. So I have chosen the poem Caged Bird, which was written by African American poet Maya Angelou in the year 1983 and is actually a reflection of her own life of being a black author and poet. The poem is all about two birds. One bird is free while the other is caged. She then goes on expressing as to how the bird that was free had all the opportunities and enjoy its freedom, while the other bird, the one that's caged, had its wings clipped. The only thing it can do inside the cage was to sing. Well, in her case, write about the feeling of inequality and oppression, hoping to be heard. The theme that the poem conveys are racial oppression and freedom captivity. So next, share the process of making the critique paper. So first, I looked for a poem to critique using the moral philosophical approach, and then I reread it for about 5 times, different time of the day, not just in one sitting, so that I can have a fully grasp of, or so that I can fully grasp what is being conveyed through the poem. And then on my third attempt of rereading it, I began to note down some ideas, some topics that is both directly and indirectly conveyed through the poem. And after that, I then began to research meaning of concepts of what I listed down on my notes. So, lastly, I will now be presenting the summary of my written work. So, as I was about to start writing the paper, a question came to mind. What are the beliefs of the author which made her feel a certain way and at the same time urged her to write such poem? And I reanalyzed her poem. What influenced her? That I asked myself, it was racial oppression, discrimination, inequality, and captivity. Those made her feel unseen and unheard simply because of her color and their history as a community. Now, let's dive into the poem. The free bird is able to enjoy the breeze and fly to the sunny skies, enjoy grubs, warm worms, and fruits, have a sip of water from the river, and live in a vibrant, bright, and modern world. Things that the caged bird has never experienced. Its wings are clipped, feet are chained, and held in captivity. All it can do was to sing. However, no matter how much it sang, no one heard it. Felt it felt hopeless, but this hopelessness bred rage and grief, and that made it sing even more, hoping to be heard one day. Now, the free bird represents those who live in our world without discrimination of any kind, be it racial, economical, or psychological. The caged bird, on the other hand, represents those people who are oppressed and criticized and discriminated. You guys might ask, but aren't there laws to stop racism, discrimination, and oppression? Yes, there actually are. But, unfortunately, laws does not seem to apply to those people who continuously see themselves as superior than anybody else. Up to this day, those people as to whom those laws are made still seek for freedom. The moral implication of the poem is concerned with how we treat other people, and how racism has become a prevalent issue up to this day. most especially toward the Black community. The poem conveys the reality of how perceptions can be damaging and influence a lot of people to think a certain way and the same way towards a group of people. Moreover, the people whom those perceptions are directed to will continue to be obscured and will continue to seek for freedom. Our words, actions, and perceptions affect other people in one way or another, be it positively or negatively. The solution? You guys might ask. We must simply be humane. But the question is, are we?